Hi everyone, this is Sharon. In this video, I'm going to be reading from a book I wrote entitled Heartache to Healing. This is chapter 10, Dare to Dream. Okay, so the Bible gives us a great example of daring to step out. Many of you might know where I'm going with this, right? So in Matthew, chapter 14, verse 28 through 33, it reads, "And Peter answered him and said, Lord," put yourself in this situation, right? "Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water." Right? So when I read the scripture, I was amazed by Peter's courage, right? And notice Peter said, "If it is you, bid me to come." So many times when we feel like God is leading us in a certain direction, we need confirmation, right? Okay, so this is one of the reasons that having a relationship with God is so important. Okay, prayer, it opens up the lines of communication, right? And most times, not most times, 100% of the time, when it is the Lord, when we are seeking confirmation, He will give that confirmation, right? So He said, "Come," and He said, "Come." Jesus is saying, "It is me, be not afraid." So once we get that confirmation, we need to what? We need to go, right? So, and when Peter, I'm continuing to read now. "And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus." Right? This is after Jesus told him to come. "But when he saw the wind boisterous," right? Obstacles, things coming in your way, "he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?" Right? So, and then, then they that were on the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art Son of God, the Son of God. Right? So Jesus still received the glory, we know that, but who knows what else Peter could have accomplished if he would have just walked in faith, right? So unfortunately, he will never know. You know, my thing is, I don't down him, because at least he had the courage to step out, right? But who knows what else he could have accomplished, okay? So the reason that the enemy fights so hard to stop a victory, right, is because when you succeed at something, just like this example the Bible gives us that happened, not only has he lost ground with you, right, because now you know what you can accomplish with God, but you now become evidence of God's goodness to others. Okay? So for myself, I had dreams, right? I kept putting them off until I realized that the years were passing me by. Okay? So instead of sleeping my free time away with just dreaming only, I decided to take every day as a gift from God and at least try. So you will have down days, right? But I'm saying, instead of just laying there in defeat and just dreaming about something and wishing and hoping, you have to get up and you have to be proactive and you have to take action, right? Especially when God gives you something that's constantly on your heart, right? You feel like you may be led by God, right? So again, in order, you feel this pull, right? And then you seek confirmation. And Jesus says, "It is me, come," right? You get on there, you have to walk on the water. Plain and simple. But again, you know, you have to take action. You have to take those steps. Okay? So for myself, right, I acted on this when I decided to go back to school, right? I talked about that in another video, for nursing. So the odd thing about this is, at 19 years old, I wanted to go to school for my LPN, right? And I was told, I was told, don't bother about going to LPN school. It's going to be phased out. Don't even go. Don't waste your time, right? I was 19 at this time. So listening to these, I think it was about one or two people, listening to these people, right, I gave up on my dream, right? And as a result, for years, I was making $9 to $11, $12 an hour, okay? Um, Working overtime constantly, taking time for my children, and just working when I didn't have to do that, right? So I decided years later, 20 years later, as a matter of fact, over 20 years, I decided to go to school for my LPN, like I talked about before, at 40 years old. Okay, I was nervous. Many people said I couldn't do it. I had an instructor while I was in school tell me to my face that I would not make it. Okay, never listen to naysayers, right? So of course I finished and I passed, right? So at 44 years old, I then decided to go back for my RN at 44. So what I'm saying is, it's never too late, right? Go for it. Okay, as I stated before, there were many times that I felt inadequate, but God, and I felt like I couldn't do it. It was too much. I felt overwhelmed, but God put it in my spirit. I got you, right? Okay. So God told Joshua and the children of Israel when they were going to the promised land, right? When they were crossing the Jordan River, he told them in Joshua 1 and 9, have not I commanded thee, be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with you wherever thou goest. Okay? So as long as you're standing in alignment with the Lord, he's with you. He got you, right? As I said before, you can't live a raggedy life. What you reap, you're going to sow. But if you're living and you're walking in alignment, being obedient to the word, he got you. He's with you. He's always with you, but he got you, right? So I decided that if God was for me and not against me, I would take him at his word. In John 15:4, Jesus said, abide in me and I in you, right? As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine, no more can ye except ye abide in me. So saying this, right, again, you will always be a minority when you dare to step out like this. Do not expect much support, right? Okay? Be prepared for the haters. They will tell you why it won't work. And some may actually tell you that what you are hearing or the road that you're going down is not from God. I heard it all. You may be misunderstood. You may be disliked. You may be ostracized or talked about. But keep in mind, to whom much is given, much is required. Okay? Remember, God said he would never leave you nor forsake you. He'll never leave us nor forsake us. Okay? You have to keep that for those nights, for those days, right? When you're down on yourself. Okay? In addition, even when it hurts and when the tears come, be encouraged. Keep Psalms 126, verse 5. Keep that in your heart. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy, right? So if you want to experience something extraordinary, now is the time. You have to be willing to step out, okay? Me personally, I refuse to die in regret. How about you? Okay? So as long as you remain in the will of God, like I said, he will give you your purpose. Your life might not be mapped out all at once, right? But he will guide you continually, okay? If you take a step of faith, he'll meet you. Repeat the word, right? Okay? And again, we have to remember that he got us. So I encourage you to start your business, write your book, pursue a new career, go back to school, travel around the world, create your invention, write a play, right? Become a songwriter, raise or mentor children, right? Whatever God put in your heart, foster, right? Whatever. Maybe becoming the next world leader. Who knows? Who knows, right? Or pursuing the ministry. Okay? So whatever it is, just do it all for the glory of God, of course, right? God says that we are to become, the lender and not the borrower. Okay, so there are people waiting on you to make it. Dream big, push past your fears, and be relentless. God got you. Dare to step out. Okay, God bless you.